Mario Kart Wii really is a game that just keeps on giving, with a community that has once again redefined what is possible. A few weeks ago, the Supersldiing glitch became mainstream on Luigi Circuit, which gave rise to a brand new time trial category in the game. And just a few days ago, the birth of another new category has come from this brand new Supersldiing technique. But before I cover the developments on this new track, let's have a quick reminder of what Supersldiing is, for those of you who might be new here. In Mario Kart Wii, players press accelerate, wheelie or boost to gain speed. But you can also gain a different type of speed from things such as getting bumped by players, or, in the case we care about, leaning your bike. You're able to abuse this mechanic by getting your bike wedged into the road and leaning back and forth repeatedly. This increases your bike's speed faster than the game can lower it, and allows you to maintain the top speed of 120 units per frame for far greater periods of time than would normally be possible. It's also worth noting that this is only viable on the Warrior bike, because of its extra hitbox located at the rear of the vehicle. There is a lot of nuance to Supersldiing, and if you want to learn more, EJ, who was the first to implement Supersldiing into real-time runs, has an amazing video going over this tech in great depth. And so do I. They're both linked down below. Now, at the end of EJ's video, he does briefly touch on a second track, where it was theorised that Supersldiing could be RTA viable. That is to say, potentially faster when performed on console by a human. But I, along with the majority of the Mario Kart Wii community, chalked this up to being too hard, and we collectively focused our efforts onto Luigi Circuit alone. One of those people who focused on Luigi Circuit is JC. He's a wizard on outside drifting bikes and has previously held the world record on Mushroom Gorge, another outside drift bike track. But when he focused his self-proclaimed love of obscure tech to Supersldiing, he became unstoppable. JC currently holds the world record for the Luigi Circuit glitch 3-lap category with a 1:06, which I still can't quite believe I just wrote into this script. But it seems like dominating Luigi Circuit's Supersldiing record was just a stepping stone for JC, because on the 27th of September, he became the first player to not just initiate a Superslide, but set a fast lap record with it on N64 Mario Raceway. I was curious about the differences between Luigi Circuit and this new Superslide entry, especially since I had written it off as not humanly viable just a few weeks ago. So I sent the one person with experience a DM to ask about it more. Before we jump in, seriously, I have to say a huge thank you to JC for helping me make this video possible. And if anything I'm about to say is wrong, you can now blame him. Go subscribe to his YouTube for insane Mario Kart Wii time trial shenanigans. The N64 Mario Raceway Superslide consists of the same 3 base goals as the Luigi Circuit glitch: getting a high clip, landing on the edge of the road, and wedging the road in between your bike's hitboxes. But each one of these aspects alone is exponentially more difficult than its Luigi Circuit counterpart. Let me explain. This area of the track is the only section you are able to achieve a Superslide. The high clip specifically has to take place using this giant mushroom because the invisible walls simply are too high everywhere else on the track. Clipping this mushroom is step 1, and in order to achieve this, your inputs have to be ridiculously precise. First, JC aligns with EJ's ghost pixel perfectly to set up for the clip. Then, magic happens. He shrooms and exactly 1 frame after, wheelies whilst holding a tail dive. This gets him a wall clip, but it leads into the next step, landing on the seam. After JC clipped, he had to move left by exactly the correct amount to avoid either falling off or landing on the road. Not only is the amount you move precise, but the timing of when you move is precise as well. While in the air and on the correct trajectory, JC had to nosedive and judge the exact right time to stop nosediving before hitting the road. This is made even more difficult due to the seam landing in the brick being textured black like the void. When you stop nosediving only has a couple of frames of leniency. Adjusting to remain on the seam obviously is no small task either, but Mr. Superslide himself managed to break the correct amount and make it this far. Luigi Circuit's high clip seems like child play compared to this mushroom clip, but we're just getting started. This is the Superslide entry on Luigi Circuit. A flat bit of ground and a simple right-left control stick input. Mario Raceway has other plans. Where JC lands on the seam is not flat ground, so he first has to back up, reversing backwards down a hill while the void is trying to drag his bike to the left, and any harsh right taps could eject him out of the wall completely. And then the inputs to clip into the ground can begin. Slowly turning left, cancelling the standstill mini turbo, and beginning to charge another one. Whilst charging this second SSMT, he needs to flick quickly left and then right, and spam hop. Finally, JC is able to tentatively drive towards the beginning of a new lap and the birth of a new category. The inputs for the actual flap are of course precise too, and it's worth noting that JC's inputs throughout the lap come from EJ's original theory task video. Paired with making a category-defining glitch prior, I can't even begin to imagine the nerves he must have been feeling in this moment. And this is coming from someone who spent 3 weeks making an incredibly precise glitch and feeling nervous driving on world record pace directly after. But sometimes, everything is able to come together and the pieces just fall into place. But this wasn't JC's first time here. In fact, he's been here in this exact position before. Nervous, determined, and driven by making history. A lot of his practice had been in Service Pack, which is a Mario Kart Wii mod that allows you to load save states on your console for quicker, easier retries. But no amount of practice can truly prepare you for an attempt like this. That theory was proven true by an attempt the day before, when JC got into the Superslide state but was unable to close out a lap. He said, "I was devastated to have messed up what could have been the first N64 Mario Raceway glitch run in history. But at least I knew I had it in me to do it again." And the very next day, after a few more hours of attempts, and nervously failing the first lap in this ghost, JC locked in. His first completed lap time was 31.249 seconds, beating Logan's former world record by just 68 milliseconds. But the time difference itself didn't matter, because all it needed to be to make history was faster. This player and his obsession with supersliding has proven once again that this community and the dedicated players within will never stop pushing this game to its absolute limits and beyond. Congratulations once again to JC, and I for one cannot wait to see where this track will go. And just quickly, if you've been enjoying these deep dives and want to help me continue making them, consider becoming a channel member. It's a simple way to directly support the time that goes into videos like this, and even the smallest support makes a big difference in helping me share the unbelievable stories from the Mario Kart Wii community. Thanks for watching.